Hello, everyone. My name is Misty Dinger. I'm the Student Services Coordinator here at the Culinary School. Today, I have William Rouse, a graduate of our program from 2015, and he and I are going to co-present on making the transition from home to school. So I'll let Will introduce himself and tell you all about himself.
Hello, everyone. My name is William Rouse. I am a culinary graduate of 2015. I recently graduated with my master's in business from IUP also. I also have my bachelor's in hospitality management from IUP also. And with that, I graduated in 2017. All right, everyone. So as you see, this career is definitely an exciting one. It is definitely one you'll remember, and it'll definitely impact you. New experiences about the culinary school. You know, you meet a lot of different people. You meet people from all over the country, all over the state, all over the world. Punxsutawney, you'll get used to it. It's definitely a new surrounding. I myself am from the city, so moving here was definitely a culture shock. But when you open yourself up and kind of let yourself enjoy new things, you definitely meet new friends, ones that will last a lifetime. Some mentors, definitely use all the chefs. All the chefs can definitely be your best friend or your worst enemy, and you definitely want them to be your best friend because they will be the biggest mentors you will have for the rest of your career. There will definitely be a lot of challenges, a lot of problems. You just have to really dig deep and make sure there's people around you that will help you get through those challenges and you help them get through those challenges. So it's all about how you make your experiences here, and you definitely want to make them the best that you can make them.
So as a parent, you definitely can help with the transition to college. You need to be able to balance the opposing needs. So there's going to be days when your child has had a rough day, and you're going to need to be able to just listen. So letting go of that control to always be taking care of everything is going to be a big adjustment, I know, sometimes for certain parents. But it's important that you stay connected, but don't expect them to contact you every day. So it's definitely a challenge for the parent as much as it is for the student.
And that is a definite positive. Definite. I
can Good
agree.
Advice.
Yes, great advice because it is true. There were times when I first started. The first week I was there, I literally called mom every day. I'm like, Mom, I can't do this anymore. And she's just like, just take a deep breath, relax. You can do this. And it's literally the most calming thing that a student can hear, especially with the workload of the culinary school. Managing your time is the next biggest thing, because if you're not managing your time right, then your recipe that's going to take you 3 pages to write is going to take you literally all night. So you might have a lot more independence, but managing your time wisely has to be one of the most important things that you could ever do while you're in culinary school.
And don't forget, students, your parents won't be there to wake you up in the morning, so you have that independence now, but you also have to be at class on time.
Exactly.
So your very first weekend is going to consist of a class called Works. And that'll be on Saturday, August 22nd, and we'll be sending you more information soon about times. But on that day, you're going to receive your supply package, which includes all your books, your uniforms, your knife kit, all your syllabus, everything you need to know, have for the whole first year. You're also going to get some information about doing some sessions online that you're going to learn about academics, kitchen safety, student conduct, and a lot more.
Wow. So all these feelings right here, you will definitely feel them all. Within the first week, within the first month, within the first semester, every student will go through every one of these feelings. How you get over them is all you. Me personally, what I did during my time there, I did work in the library, and I also did a lot of things around the community. I, after school, would go to work, and then I would go either to the gym or play basketball. And for me, that was my stress reliever. So whenever I was feeling a little anxious, overwhelmed, definitely homesick. And when I didn't feel confident in my abilities and skills, I went to the gym. I put on my music, and I let my confidence build through the activities that I did. So when you start to feel, anxious, overwhelmed, just think to yourself, what can I do to overcome all of that? What activities can I do to keep my mind busy where my confidence can build? Who can I talk to that can help my confidence build? Who can help me get over my anxiousness and my feeling overwhelmed? There's just a lot of things that run through your mind that you just have to kind of gather yourself, sit down, and just kind of think to yourself. And when you do that, anything is possible. The options are endless when you tell yourself that you can do it.
So as a parent or guardian, you can definitely be very key in helping the student to be successful. The biggest advice I can give you is to listen to your students. Encourage them to take part in activities, but discourage them from coming home all the time. It'll be so easy for them to just come home every weekend, and because it's where they're used to, but if they do that, they're going to want to come home more than they're going to be wanting to be at school. Remind your students to always ask faculty and staff for help when they need it. Assure them that they are not the only ones that are feeling stressed. And even though a student might think, everybody else has it figured out, Mom, and I don't, that's not the case. So it's important to make sure you always listen to them. They're going to have bad days. They're going to need you just to be able to listen and not always have to jump in to help. So the best way to pave the way for academic success is to prepare before you even get to school. So it's important to review all the weights and measurements, and we have a great slide on our website that you can look at for that. It's also important, if you have had learning support in the past, that you make sure that you fill out the paperwork so that you can get those services when you come to school as well. Every student is eligible to participate in tutoring, and we do have tutoring set up that our students will do multiple times during the week, that students can just go to that. But it's important to make sure that you do these things ahead of time as well. And I know Will's going to explain a little bit too, like the things that he was able to do as an academic for academic success.
Yes, for my success personally, like I've mentioned before, I worked in a library. So when you work in the library, you have the access to the Intel library databases. So you can look at different books, get in different books. The head librarian, she was very nice, and she allowed me to get in books that probably a lot of other students didn't have the ability to. But it wasn't just for my personal gains. If I got it, I let my friends use it. I let them try and understand better. And honestly, if you need help and you don't understand something, you can go to the chefs. They know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about. They will give you the opportunity for help, and they will put you on a better path for success. And don't be afraid. Chef Capusa might come off, very, very strong, but he is also one of the nicest chefs that there is, and he will help you with anything.
So when you live on campus, there are definitely staff members that are able to help you with living on campus. David Berberich is the Associate Director for Residence Hall Services and Student Opportunities. He doesn't live on campus, but he is the person that the residence life staff reports to. Eliza Eames is going to be our graduate resident hall director in the fall, and then we will have 2 resident assistants that will be students that will be employed by the housing office to assist the directors throughout the entire time that the students are here. If you have questions or have issues with off-campus housing, you can always come to me. Now, I can't get involved with landlord disputes and stuff, but I can definitely be a listening person, and I can help you with those types of questions as well. Living with other people could definitely be a challenge. So you're going to have issues sometimes with roommates. You may not be used to living with somebody else. If your roommate is maybe going to be somebody who's messy or eats your food or they play their music too loud, it's important to talk to your roommate. resident assistants and say, I need to move. The biggest thing with working with roommates is through communication. So try to work out your problem. If you can't get to that point, then you're going to have to go to a resident assistant, and then they will help you through that process. But parents, encourage your students to work out their problems themselves. Advise them to communicate with their roommates, talk with their student about living with other people, and the need for compromise. It's really important that they learn that compromise from the very beginning, because these kind of challenges go out into the world as well. So you're going to always have people that you don't necessarily get along with that you're going to have to figure out how to communicate with them.
All right, everybody, especially the students. This one is definitely important. Your student email, check that every single day, every single night, afternoon, at lunch, even in the evening when you're sitting there just doing your homework. Just scroll over to your email and check it. I know for me, I checked it every single day, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a day. Even on the weekends when I was out with my friends, maybe up in Indiana, I was still on my phone checking my email, because there's so much important stuff that you get sent there that if you miss it, I don't know what to tell you. You're kind of out of luck then. But checking that every single day on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, that's the most important thing that you can do.
So planning for healthcare at school is very important. It's important before you come to school that you check with your insurance provider to see if you're covered when you're away from home. Make sure you bring all of your insurance and prescription information to school so that you have that accessible to you. If you don't have insurance, you could also consider enrolling through a plan through the healthcare.gov. Students, talk with your parents about the differences between an emergency and a non-emergency condition. If you have a cough or a cold, you probably can just go and make an appointment and go to a doctor and get a prescription. If you have severe pain, that's the time to go to the emergency room. But it's important to make sure that you're not obviously just going to the emergency room every time. So it's make sure to know what's an emergency and what is not an emergency condition. So at Punxsutawney, we're very fortunate to have a local hospital right in town. So if you do have an emergency, you can go to the Punxsutawney Hospital. We also have an ambulance service set up through the Jefferson County Ambulance Service, where they can transport a student to the hospital from any location in Punxsutawney, and there's no out-of-pocket expense to the student. So if your child is having an issue that they need to call an ambulance, don't worry that you're going to have a cost involved, because they just need to tell them that they're a student. But we do have those services available for our students. So besides having a hospital in town, we have a lot of private physicians as well that will take our students. But we also have 2 walk-in type clinics. One is called the Punxsutawney Q Care Urgent Care, and it is literally located between the Learning Center and the Culinary School. And there is a stop on the bus for that location. You also can go through the Rapid Care Walk-in Clinic, which is actually at the Punxsutawney Hospital. Will and I have both mentioned how important it is to get involved. And some of the ways you can get involved on campus is to become part of our clubs and activities. One thing you can do is become a student ambassador. Our student ambassadors help out with our campus events. So when we have our virtual tours or in-house tours, we have students that help out with those events. So it is a job on campus that you can become part of. You could also become part of the Culinary and Baking Student Association. I'm the advisor for that group, and then we elect officers to that club every year, and we plan all of the events for the entire year. We also have an ice carving club, which is definitely something that a lot of schools do not have. And you can see in the picture here of some of the carvings our students get a chance to do. So it's a great event and a great skill the students get a chance to learn, and it can be it's a fun activity. They also can be part of the American Culinary Federation. We actually have a chapter in Punxsutawney that you can become a part of. We have meetings every semester that we have different guest speakers come for those. And sometimes we'll take field trips and stuff as well, as part of some of these events that we get a chance to do. You also can become part of the student photography group, and Kayla works with the students with that. And that's basically taking class pictures of all the things in your class that we can use for different things through promoting our things through web pages and so forth throughout the year.
This was the fun one. Like I said before, like Missy has said before, Punxsutawney is not the biggest place in the world. It is one of the smallest towns that I've lived in, but it's also what you make of it. In the community, there's so much to do. There's a lot of volunteer opportunities. Community center, best place to go in town. You have you have a little movie theater. I think it costs like maybe $5 for a double feature on the weekend. Plus popcorn and snacks are all super cheap. So it's really fun. The swimming pool, best thing you can do in the summer semester. It gets hot. You're in the kitchen all day. All you want to do is just relax. Go to the local pool because that is fun. You can be there for hours and just hang out and build better and stronger friendships with the people in your class. Because once fall externship comes, you guys might be going separate ways, and you want to build those relationships then while you guys are together, and just kind of have that partnership when you branch out. What I did a lot of fitness and basketball leagues at the community center. They have those in the winter. I think in the summer they have different things going on, but definitely get out there, take advantage of the community, like it says, and just make friendships, meet new people, meet people from the community, because those friendships and relationships too are ones that you want to keep around forever, because they're just priceless. They're just something you can't get rid of.
Students are allowed to bring a car to campus. So if you have a car, you can bring a car to campus, and it's free to park on campus, and we will help you get a parking pass once you arrive on campus. However, you don't need to have a car to to come to campus. We do have what is called the Punxsutawney Area Transportation Authority, and you can see the big orange bus here. Students can use the bus. It's basically showing their iCard, and it's free transportation throughout Punxsutawney. So it will take them on their schedule for classes. So it'll take them between the Learning Center and the Academy building for them to have classes. It also will take them to Walmart and some of the other shopping plazas in town. And we will go over the schedule with the students once school starts. So the most important thing to know about your iCard is to not lose it. Your iCard is something you'll definitely use even if you live off campus. If you live on campus, you're going to access all your meals using your iCard. You're also going to do your laundry with your iCard. So the meal plan has flex dollars with it. So your meal plan and your flex dollars are on your iCard to use in the cafeteria. And then the Crimson Cash is a separate account, but also on your iCard. So you're going to want to add some money to that to be able to use for printing. If you live on campus, you'll need it for laundry. And there are some vending machines on campus that you can use Crimson Cash for. If you decide to have a PNC Bank account, you can add that information to your iCard as well. So if you want to basically make your iCard into your ATM card, you can do that as well. But it's really important to keep track of your iCard, and you actually will have to pay $15 if you lose it. So it's important to always know where it's at.
To be successful is to not do it alone. Like I said, like I've mentioned previously, talk to the chefs. Talk to them about everything that you think is appropriate. Definitely talk to them about tutoring. Get the help that you need. If you feel that you're not succeeding in the course that you're in, talk to them. They will definitely help you. They will give you one-on-one assistance, if it's available. Peer out. Talk to your friends, talk to other people in your class to definitely help you when it's needed. Externships is the scariest part of even just anything. Coming to the culinary school might be a big change for a lot of people. But when you get to the externship, you're going halfway across the U.S. You're going from Punxsutawney or Pennsylvania to Florida, Wisconsin, even California if it's available. But that's scary. So talk to Chef Capusta about the externships. Talk to him, see if he can put you in contact with somebody who's been there and the experiences that they experience. You just want to talk to them about everything. If it's going to help you be successful, that's what you want. And Misty is honestly one of the greatest people to talk to about anything in culinary wise. She will get you to the right person. She will help you with anything financial aid. She's just a great person to talk to. So if you need help with anything, go talk to her. And honestly, any of the culinary staff, talk to them about anything that you need. Go to the office. And honestly, everybody in the culinary staff is just great. So if you need help with anything, just talk to somebody.
So as I mentioned earlier, parents and guardians can have a huge impact in the success of the students. Basically, though, just to give you some reminders for the parents, don't expect students to check in every day. Let your students set the schedule. Their class schedule is crazy, so they may not have time to call you every day. They have homework every night, so their schedule is going to be a little crazier than it used to be. But be there to support them when they need emotional support. The transition to college life can be very challenging and bumpy and sometimes very overwhelming, but the rewards can be amazing. So, if you get a call from a student, and I guarantee most people are going to get a call saying, I want to quit, I've had a bad day, and so forth, remain calm. The best thing you can do is just to listen to them. If you do ask questions, make them open-ended questions so that you can find out what caused their bad day. Sometimes your student needs to just talk, and just for you to be the person on the other end of the phone that can listen to what happened. I've had experiences where I've had students, parents call me, oh my gosh, my child wants to quit and so forth, and they've had such a bad day and so forth. But when I talk to the student, they say, oh, I'm fine. I don't know what the problem is. So sometimes it's one of those things where their life can be a little overwhelming, but as soon as they step back from it, and they're going to be fine. But sometimes you as a parent get to be the one that has to listen to all the drama that happened for them. But most of the times they're fine. You just need to give them a moment to, readjust and move on. And as we've been mentioning all along, we're here to help you through whatever you can do. So as a student, as a parent, we want you to be successful. We want every single one of you to be at graduation come next August, or actually the ceremony come next August, and then on to your externship. If you need us, you can contact us. Our admissions counselors are Kayla and Barry. Both of their email addresses are there. As I mentioned before, I'm the student services coordinator. My email address is there. And our faculty chairperson is also someone that you can always reach out to help, and hers is listed there as well. We thank you very much for being part of our presentation today, and let us know if we can be of assistance.